you'll see maybe like an extra 1 or 2 losses, and someone may ask, "Oh, like what happened? How'd you lose that?" "Oh, I just played badly, like I just trolled or something like that." It's always like he's always like, "I could have easily won that." He's extremely confident in his 1v1s, and for good reason.
Yeah.
And I'm actually unironically very excited to see the 4v1 team shakeups. That's going to be really interesting. See Pedro, Team Invictus serves is going to be absolutely insane, and Pedro already is a very good killer.
Yeah, he claims they're going to be the top 1 team in the world, and they'll have Season 10 to prove it.
I don't know which team's going to be top, but I do think that Invictus is 100% a contender.
Yeah, it's all up in the air, really. Yeah, so Pedro, it's one of the players I've known the longest as well. I played him already in 2022 when his name was still Sir Pickle. So I love playing him, love how he's developed throughout the times, and it's unreal to try to understand that he's the best survivor in the world at the moment. It's amazing. Does get mind-gamed a tiny bit here on the tile, I want to say, but not to the point where he even still gets the hit. Does have to, he gets stuck on the locker, however, so in the end he runs in,
first hit 50 seconds runs into the wall so he doesn't get thrown, so he doesn't, so he gets actually more distance out of that. Yeah, Pedro, obviously, like you said, he used to go by Sir Pickle, so I started calling him Zodabiggle. Yeah, I still call him Zodabiggle to this day. It's just,
what's that for?
It's just a different way of saying his name. So he calls me flightless. I call him Zodabiggle.
Yeah, that makes sense then. So you kind of have your own little nickname. I always call him Sir Picklus, and he always calls me Sir Mathis. That's funny that we all have like these nicknames all up. Oh, beautiful!
Very.
There's no way that just paid off.
Yeah, he had to send it otherwise. He had to send it otherwise. Pedro makes a pallet for free. So he expected that and absolutely just juked him. He's bringing out his inner.
Finally, here we see it. So yeah, the way Pedro had his camera angled in a very certain
another good dodge.
Very certain way where you could barely see like around the rock on the left, but you also have always a clear sight on if the killer goes to the pallet. And at that point, if you manage to hold that position, you're always safe. I love how confident he's in these dodges. Also, that's one thing that he just did is amazing, is this, you fake the micro dodge. So like you just tap going away from the tile. So to the killer, it looks like you're about to swerve. And then they fully commit to that, to where you're going, where they think you're going to be, but you end up never going there. That's something that a lot of players utilize. And you can see how effective that is, as Pedro just demonstrated.
Yeah, that's why I love. It doesn't get the hit.
It perfectly.
That's some resi value right there. Yeah, that's why I love Egg on Wesker, because you can try to weigh out those micro fakes. He loses the 50 there. He's hindered, so he can't really pre-leave this.
This was almost as long as the longest trapper chase we had. 2 minutes 45 seconds.
And it's versus Wesker as well. So
yeah.
If anyone's to get like a really long chase, then I'm expecting it to be Pedro or Ivan. And even Zeno, actually.
Ethie still had some really smart ideas in between, but Pedro was able to react very decisively every time. Ethie did get that very early hit at least, so against when you threw him against the lockers. But the one thing that you pointed out, which is very important to how you play against Wesker, is you never want to be thrown in those unconventional spots. So you never want to end up edge map, because then you're always just 2-tap. So what Pedro did is he realized, yeah, okay, I'm getting hit here anyway, so I'm going to hug the wall, make it. So yeah, I know I get hit anyway, but I'm going to make it so I end up in a favorable position.
Exactly. He could have possibly even dodged that second dash and made it to the palindrome. But if he doesn't, he can get thrown, and that is very bad. So he'd rather just take the safe option of getting hit, but being able to get more distance out of it. So he just ran into the wall, make sure he doesn't get thrown, and he is able to play off of that. And he played very well afterwards to get a very good win condition.
Yeah, and that really makes the difference between those players that play more ad hoc rather than what we see with Pedro, the players that know how the killers work in their smallest details and so on, or the niches they can take advantage of. And yeah, he doesn't allow the killer to profit from it. But yeah, we're going to see him on Mastermind now against Ethie on Survivor.
Yeah, Zoda Bigel is a Zoda Bigel
yeah.
is a very good Wesker player as well. Like he, I've seen him like on Nightlight stream. I remember there was one time a while ago where Nightlight was doing some serve gameplay, and he got a Wesker who was just insta flicking him every single pallet and absolutely destroyed him. He was like, "Oh my god, this guy's goated." And then he sees in the game that it's Pedro. He's like, "Oh, of course it's Pedro." So Pedro's a very experienced Wesker player.
I really wonder if so now that he's got this new team of his, pretty sure he's also the only one that actually plays Claw on the team, and I wonder if he truly wants to play absolutely everything, because it's more about, or usually when you have teams, you have these variety M1 killers, or people that play practically anything outside of Nurse and Blight. But yeah, the thing is, I know that Pedro plays Nurse and Blight too, so I wonder if there's even a killer that he doesn't play. I'm not sure there is.
For the team, if I'm not mistaken, Dan is going to be playing Billy, because Dan is a very good mechanical Billy. But I don't know of any other killers that Pedro's not going to play. Maybe there's one or two, like maybe Rocket will play some killers, or Dan some. Probably not Dan other killers.
Be on Demogorgon.
Yeah, Rocket maybe Demogorgon, maybe Doctor, but I know Pedro's very good at both of those, so I am not exactly sure. But I know.
Honestly.
Yeah. Pedro's pretty good at pretty much every killer. Like, I believe he was doing some Singularity 1v1s yesterday and was saying that he needs to learn this killer because he's going to be playing Singularity for the team, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and also Kexo. Kexo can play killers. I know Kexo's a very good Knight player as well. So they're going to have some variety on. They're going to have some variety on their players, but I know Pedro is going to be a very good staple for their team. He's very good. He's very good 1v1 serve, very good 4v1 serve, and very good at 4v1 and 1v1 on killer as well.
I'm pretty sure Pedro said something along the lines of that Kexo's going to play Skull Merchant because he doesn't want to touch that killer. So that's something at least.
I would do the same. I wouldn't touch Skull Merchant with a 10-foot pole. That killer is.
Yeah, really.
If I load into a Skull Merchant match, then I am falling asleep the entire time. Check any bit of the RNG. We got an eye loop,
which is why we don't allow the killer in our tournaments.
Good. This is why I watch DBDLeague.
Hell yeah.
We've got some RNG checking. We've got an eye loop mid, but a hill on 3. So this is actually not easy to connect here. He's got a tough win con as well, so he's got pre-dropping the shack pellet. I know Pedro isn't a fan of that.
What? Did he want to make him lunge that bad that he actually waited as well? But Pedro still didn't swing.
I think he was hoping that Pedro would pre-swing.
It would have been funny at least, but I'm not sure if that was the most optimal thing to do. I find it impressive how Pedro doesn't follow Ethie just in a straight line, but actually tries to find the angle to catch up the best way.
Yeah, I'll put maybe. Oh, what? I think he gets blocked by the hook hitbox there.
Yeah. That's huge for Ethie now.
Yeah, he doesn't have his rushes back, so he can finesse off this window. He's got a pallet gem here as well. Now this is actually playable for the Wesker, because obviously it's mainly down to a 50-50 if the serve can react in time or not. He just breaks and zones in towards mid.
If the win gun was something like 130, then Ethie would be looking really good here, but it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And that's the first hit. We've just passed that first minute mark.
Yeah, Ethie, he's going to have to play super well and also, just win a bunch of mind games. That's pretty much the tactic.
There's some major mind games that allow him to get half the map distance several times.
Yeah, his first hit came out, relatively late, but he's still got a long way to go. He's got a jungle gym here.
Oh,
yeah, he did. No, he didn't hug tech. He bounced off the back wall to do a rebound so that he could get across quicker with the egg speed.
So he's playing blind, but on Mastermind.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love Mastermind. He bounced off the wall so that he could move quicker and use his second dash to catch up faster. Very, very well played by both. Ethie may have lost that set, but he still got a very good chase.
That was a great chase, yeah. Especially the start. Took a minute for him to get injured. And also the approach to Shaq was very unique. Something
Yeah,
I've never seen before.
I've noticed a lot of people pre-dropping Shaq a lot more versus Wesker, because obviously Wesker, like, if you pre-break with Brutal, say like Pallet is facing mid-map, the Wesker swings, you drop, and then you just run mid. If the Wesker breaks with Brutal and then uses double dashes, he still can't catch up to you. So it's free distance all the way to main, and then you have to wait. What is it, like almost 18 seconds for Wesker's power to come back?
I don't play the Collider again, so I'm not familiar with the cooldowns.
I don't actually remember the numbers. I'm thinking
time on next time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I feel like maybe I'm wrong on those numbers though.
Anyway, we're already loading into that second set between Pedro and Ethie. First set will decisively go to Pedro.
Yeah, now we got the.
Yeah, now we've established it once already today. I don't think we can move away from it anytime soon.
Oh no, I'm going to be saying pick even in my sleep.
In my sleep. He picked the pig.
We've got Wreckers again. I was hoping for a bit more Wretched, but Wreckers is also good for Pig. Sorry, Pig. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, this isn't looking the best RNG. He's got.
Starting to itch from that.
Same. He's got the hill like back of Shaq, and he's got split bus and not the best fillers. Bit of a false start there.
Yeah. I think. Oh no, they're not going to reset it. They are still playing it. Okay. It's trying to play relatively patiently around this main building. It works as main building. Shaq, I want to say, obviously. But yeah, because he knows fully well that Pig, again, as practically a basic M1 killer, can't do much about it. If Ethie just holds W around it, will just be able to collect free time. Didn't get the pallet spawn, however. That is going to be...
Because now he's gotten hit, but he also doesn't have much to play around. So he's not able to get much time out of it. Fakes the window vault.
Basically gets no value out of life, out of finesse this time. Does get value out of life there. Very important. But yeah, finesse basically been removed since he's got hit so early.
He can vault this and he can go to the filler, so he can waste a little bit of time here, but he's not going to be able to waste a whole lot. Oh, Pedro just swings through. Oh, that's going to be a very tough win con.
Yeah, that ridiculously early hit. Wow.
I believe the only safe tile he had was a pallet gem, but even that was like quite far from Shaq, so he really did not have much to play with. So Pedro could have, even if Pedro got stunned there, he wasn't going to lose much time. It was very early into the chase, and Ethie didn't have much to work with.
Yeah, really, really tough, all because of that big gamble at the start that, yeah, he wanted to reach that pallet in the corner, but, yeah, didn't have it.
Yeah, he, I believe he spawned on that side of the map, but he didn't notice that the pallet wasn't there. Or did he spawn on the other side of the map? I don't even actually remember.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, he accidentally ran into a dead zone, and that gave him a very early hit.
Now, Ethie actually does have a chance here, because Pedro, whenever he has an easy win con, he likes to just like kind of chill, and he always plays well, even when he's playing chill. But he kind of full sends everything. So if Ethie can maybe if Ethie can maybe read it, then he does have a chance. I think Pedro knows that this is an event, so he's gonna play safe, and then maybe after 30 seconds has passed, he's just gonna chill, because he can just take an M1, hold W, and probably still win. Even if he has bad RNG, this is going to be tough for Ethie to win.
It is going to be, yeah, it's such an uphill battle, however. Like, the win con is really, really difficult for him to match up, and he's playing against a player of this caliber, so it is near impossible, but it's DBD, and we're always in for the miracles.
Yeah, maybe Pedro is thinking about the content side of things, and he's going to start the chase injured. He's not even going to check RNG. He's just going to go straight to the pallet and just instantly start.
He was born ready.
Yes, this is the sort of big old mindset. Doing the gen, that's not allowed.
Yeah.
You're actually
That's so relatable.
you're making it too loud at Shack so the pig can't hear your footsteps. This is a minus 20 seconds in my opinion.
At least, yeah. He kicks it as well. Yeah, gets some extra blood points at the start of the game. At the end. All the progress has been nullified already. And we're off with potentially the last chase between Pedro and Ethie. Oh, that was a really smart attempt there. Crouching immediately.
Yeah, it's a very good mind game, so he can't just like full greed Shack. So he loses at least some time, but it doesn't result in a hit. We might see a shift tech coming out here. No, we're not. Run straight to the pallet. He is on the bad side. It's stun. And he has this rock pallet here too. Yeah, this is pretty much safe, and now he's got finesse back up. Goes ahead and pre-vaults that. Make sure that he doesn't get hit accidentally.
And that's also, sometimes on this map it can get really annoying when you just have these cars stacked on top of each other and no tiles in between. On Reckless it's very consistent now at least, but sometimes you also just don't get the pallet in there and then it's just a huge red herring.
Yeah, it's like you pretty much always get the tile spawn, but you don't actually always get the pallet, and it's so annoying when you run to it thinking, oh, there's no pallets in a 17-mile radius here, so there's definitely going to be a pallet here, and there just isn't. Pedro playing this very well. He makes his pallet for free, and oh, he's still got both windows to greed as well. He's getting bloodlust though. Yep, see,
Yeah,
full
now
send.
now that Pedro only just now is getting injured, slowly it's looking very grim for Ethie, sadly.
Yeah, he is. He's already at the win con even before he got injured. So, this is Pedro now juking, trying to make some content.
But he did play it relatively safe at the start, as you said, because again it's an event, so every second matters. So you want to play as safely as possible. It does go down here finally on that shack. This I'm calling it shack, not main building.